CBLT Morning between 7 and 9 tomorrow.
This is it, the Queen Spadina neighborhood. It radiates from this corner, up Spadina to College, along the Queen Street strip to University. Welcome to a rather quick-paced half-hour of sights and sounds from Toronto's most offbeat neighborhood. When you meet the people and you see the street lights here, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. We've got a lot of ground to cover, so hold on to your hats. Spadina, originally pronounced Spadina, was derived from the Ojibwe word Spadina, meaning land higher and higher. The Silver Dollar Room was built onto the Hotel Waverly in 1958. The Waverly was a YMCA when it was erected in 1890. It became a hotel in 1897 and has been operating as a hotel on this site, Spadina and College, ever since.
You wanted to know when and how I and Graham and various other artists came down to Spadina. Came down meaning from around the Yorkville district before it was
Gordon Rayner.
Full of boutiques and so on, and spoiled. In 1967, I was looking for a studio, needless to say, and I moved in, turned the sculptor studio into a nice, lovely living space.
Well, I got here in 1956.
Graham Coftree.
Find that amusing.
Yeah, well, it's long before that. Irving Grossman had this little place. I moved in there. And then years later, I moved back down just above Dundas. By that time, you had moved here across the street. Nobby was here.
Marco moved in.
I don't know. All the...
Right.
The thing was that...
John McGregor, a young artist, moved down here.
Whereas we had all had our first studios around Yonge and Yorkville, because that's where it was cheap. When that started to become rich and famous, we had to move here because it was cheaper.
They actually had to move the Pilot Tavern.
The Pilot Tavern moved its clientele to Grossman's up the street.
Yeah,
right?
a lot of good things happened.
And this became the cheap place that artists could live.
I guess the original artist here was a man named Gershon Iskowitz.
These paintings, which I'm doing now, they're based on the Northern Lights, which I saw them about 4 years ago. I was up in Churchill, Manitoba, and then I went to Northwest Territories. These are based on the diving down and up by helicopter. So I got out these experiences. And actually, basically, we used to take rides at night, like these paintings. This is one of my series, right? So they're based on the lights, Northern Lights.
Anyway, After watching Spadina change, from 1956, when the Hungarian Revolution took place and it changed from being the Jewish garment district, all of a sudden Hungarians moved in. One day I walked out and I saw this great sign that said Victory crumbling onto the street. Right kitty corner to that was the Hungarian Catholic Church. It was almost as if morality had vanquished the Victory. I came back from Spain about 1970, got a studio just down above Switzer, which was a landmark and still is. In the meantime, Chinatown is coming up Dundas around the corner and crept or raced up Spadina Avenue.
Great food, though.
It became more cosmopolitan. It's just great.
Victoria and Gray asks, is this you?
Transfer $500 from my checking account to my rainy day account. Deposit $1,000 into my nest egg investment account. What do you mean my check bounced?
Our daily interest checking account puts the features of many different accounts plus high daily interest into one neat package. How does your present account stack up to ours? Put it all together with National Victoria and Gray's daily interest checking account.
It's the only account you need.
A fumbling joker of old found the king's mood very cold. The joker you find and three of a kind means a bonus from the new pot of gold. Edward Grand Prizes, sit for the king.
You can't hide from me, joker. I'll find you.
South on Spadina, in the heart of our neighborhood, we have Toronto's famous garment district. A recent wave of art galleries, lofts, and design studios have integrated quite nicely with the wide open spaces of these great buildings. However, the textile trade and fashion industry remain the artistic and political force.
This is Toronto's 150th anniversary. Also, it's my 25th anniversary on Spadina Avenue. I've been very actively involved in the Sunday shopping issue. In fact, I've been open illegally for the last 2.5 years and have been charged almost every Sunday. It's strange the city of Toronto is spending $4 million to promote tourism right now, and yet they refuse to declare Toronto as a tourist area. If they did, stores would be allowed to be open legally and could create many thousands of jobs. At this moment, my case with 7 other cases is being heard in the Supreme Court of Ontario, has been heard actually, and we're waiting for the decision, which we hope will come out this June.
Another prominent figure in the fashion world, Claire Haddad, of Claire Haddad Designs.
Well, we've been on the avenue for about 20 years, and it's exciting to see what's been happening over the years. It's certainly changed enormously from that time on, but there's so much going on here today, and it's exciting to see of all the new young designers that have come into this fashion area of Toronto. And as you know, I think that Toronto has become quite the fashion center of Canada. And we were always interested in the export market, simply because Canadians did not believe in Canadian designers. So we decided to take a different route and use young Canadian artists to do work on our textiles. And this is one of the areas that we pursued over the years, and I'm talking about 15 years ago. We were having young talented artists work on textiles and doing our thing, and in that sense we were able to have a truly Canadian fabric right from the original textile and design, and then of course designed here in Canada and exported outside of the country. And that's the area that we pursued and are still doing it today.
The art and music scene has created the ambience here. It's not surprising that a lot more bars, restaurants, and clubs are opening up. Queen Street's a lot more trendy than it used to be. There's still a strong communal feeling here among the people. It's a great place for a secret rendezvous, or just watching the people go by.
You may be wondering why I'm flaming my hat. Because I've taken the vow to flame my hat daily. This is the miracle of water and flour. The chapati was first used for revolutionary purposes. When it's puffed up, the steam is created from the fire, from the water in the dough, and it puffs up. The bread being glutinous, causes this effect. Now, secret messages can be passed without being noticed by the authorities inside the puffed up chapati. And this way revolutions can be supplied with information.
Newcomer to the Queen Street scene, Monsieur Georges Ramian.
This is our business. When I say our business, it's a family business. I work with my wife, my two sons, and my daughter. My wife, she does the typing and also the repairing. She's a good repair lady. My Pierre, good salesman. My daughter also, she does the typing and the repair work. My youngest son, he helps me to lift the carpet, and also he helps me, he's learning to sell and then to know the quality of the carpets, because it is a lifetime education. Each carpet is made different country, in different town, and they are named after the town that they are made in. Usually it's very good quality, all hand-woven carpet, comes from everywhere, every corner of the world. I have Persian, Caucasian, Armenian, Anatolian, Chinese, Indian, all hand-woven. When I moved here, after 2 weeks, I found out this is the best location I can find, for many reasons. Lots of traffic, lots of type of people passing by, from the wealthiest to the poorest, and the diversity of the people, all nations.
great entertainment, and it's all on the TTC. We got shows to see, our symphony, art and ice, even winter's nice, a museum grand, dancing to a band. We've got sights to see, all on the TTC. We've got movie screens, our hockey team, castle on a hill and skating trails, stars galore, nights out and more. We've got stars to see, all on the TTC. Toronto's Entertainment Network.
A different frontier. Not up in space, but 3 miles below the surface. Searching for something few can find. Because of their continuous advances in exploration technology, Shell Canada has long been this country's leading producer of natural gas. Shell Canada, putting technology and people to work.
Wilkinson Sword has built a good case for a knife that's always sharp. The Wilkinson Sword self-sharpening knife. It's sharp every time you need it, because every time you remove it from the protective case, the built-in sharpener sharpens the stainless steel blade. The Wilkinson Sword self-sharpening knife. Several popular sizes. One will become your favorite knife. Case closed. From Wilkinson Sword.
Welcome to Magic Cut for a great haircut at a great price. I'm number 1 at Magic Cut. It's Magic Cut for me.
I'm number 1 at Magic Cut. It's Magic Cut for me.
When you want a perfect cut, number 1 is where it's at. I'm number 1 at Magic Cut. It's Magic Cut for me.
The smartest heads in town come to Magic Cut for a great haircut. But you're only number 1 when you're at Magic Cut. From coast to coast, you're always welcome. When the sun goes down, that's when the children of our neighborhood come out to play.
Hello? Hi. Oh, hi, Mom. Hey, Mom, do you have the recipe for wonton soup?
Oh, yeah. Hậu đồng ý nhỉ? Yeah, nên mai đi cay con bò.
Je mets photos à table.
C'était vite.
Well, curiosity killed the cat.
Good evening. And welcome to the 5th Poetry Sweatshop. When you do write your poem, keep in mind that you will be judged on performance as well. So if you want to add a little oomph when you're reading, that's all the better.
Although I live within my skin with bars and windows and a door,
Form appeared,
the air is
not of herself.
I step out of myself.
Her eye extending out into the air,
where the
skin upon her arm,
grows.
her neck
Although
became
I
cold,
rise to you
not living
endless
to the line,
and
the
voiceless.
curve,
You
angle,
occupy my
circle,
space.
line. She
Mother,
goes
I remember a scent, another summer, darkness,
observing
you and
the
I.
meeting of the straight line.
We were playing the same game,
Would
over
have
and
been
over again,
mesmerized,
move for move
still,
again.
her arms
And you and I, our shadows on the wall, trembling.
addressed
In my childhood, the cricket sang, the rain poured, the fire danced. The future held a promise. Oh, but those nights were dark, as fragile as the shadows in the early morning sun. And now I know I cannot go back to that place.
For years we were called Martha and the Muffins, and it's only recently that we've changed our name to M+M, because there is just myself and Mark in the band. And it seems to be catching on quite well. A lot of people say they miss the name Martha and the Muffins, but it just didn't seem to make sense to have 2 people and have the Muffins, so it is M+M now.
Most of our early gigs were at the Beverly. It was one of the few places in the area that would allow a band like ourselves to play, because at the time the whole Yonge Street strip was devoted exclusively to heavy metal and commercial type rock bands.
Sort of heavy metal heaven on Yonge Street, and we were doing something different, as were a lot of other bands. So it was great to have a place like this to come to and play.
We opened for Johnny and the G-Rays, and I was terrified.
I think we were all pretty scared.
Yeah.
The G-Rays have long since disbanded, but Johnny McLeod is still going strong at the Rex. shortly after we played the Beverly, we started playing at the Horseshoe Tavern, and that was run by the Garys, Gary Cormier and Gary Topp, and they had a lot to do with the beginning of our careers as well. They helped a lot of bands out. Blue Mondays at the Cameron.
This is a song that Aaron David and Lynn Fernie wrote. Called Neon Blue. Neon blue, straight line blue, feeling like a stranger.
I hope that this brief look at Queen and Spadina has aroused your curiosity. Before I go, I'd like to leave you with an invitation. Come down and check it out for yourself. I promise you won't be disappointed.
Neighborhoods in the November edition of Toronto Life magazine on newsstands now.